Hello, my name is, I have been already introduced. That was my part. Anyways, my name is Sosowski. You might know me from making a game called MacPixel. And this game had an adventure with piracy, well, every game has an adventure, a story about piracy, because every game is being pirated. But the outcome is quite unbelievable for MacPixel. This is why I wanted to talk about the turnouts of piracy and how they can be different depending on your approach to that. So to begin, I would like you to get everyone in the mood and begin with a, oh, come on. With a short clip just to get you in the mood, and it actually is quite relevant. Okay, so that was my introduction. The thing is that Poland is a post-communist country. So in communist times, everything in Poland has been regarded as public domain. Everything that can be reproduced can be reproduced. And then it changed, and we came out of that. And like, as you could see in this clip, like that was a television intro to a sailor's magazine that was used to run on a television in early 90s, and it is comprised of cutouts from pirate movies that are there, most probably without anyone's permission. This is how Poland was operated. So here we are quite. It is quite. We are quite in. How do you say that? Friendly with the term piracy and like copyright infringement, and then things are shifting. Things are shifting rapidly now, and I think they are shifting in the wrong direction. And I think getting them in the right direction can yield in positive results. So this is what I want to talk about today, and my presentation is called Gaming of the Caribbean, or How to Train Your Pirate. Like the description I put on the website was quite controversial for a reason to luring you here, but the thing is, what I want to talk about is what is piracy and how to fight it by not fighting it and get profit in return. So, let me begin by finding my notes. I lost my notes. This is terrible. Yes. Thank you. Let me begin by defining piracy. So, the definition of piracy, this is the Google definition of piracy. I'm pretty sure it's out of the dictionary. So not this one, not the person who attacks and robs the ships at sea, but a person who appropriates or reproduces the work of another for profit without permission, usually in contravention of patent or copyright. So what I want to focus on is this part. For profit. That used to be piracy. Pirates used to be guys who were selling bootleg CDs, who were selling bootleg tapes, bootleg videotapes for profit. And fighting that kind of piracy was different. Now pirate is everyone who downloads an MP3 from internet illegally, regardless whether he knows or doesn't know it. So this happened. And this is a definition I got out from the internet today, and it's still in the dictionary. For profit is there, but it has been lost. So let me show an example of that. This is an MPAA website. MPAA is being known for being anti-piracy a lot. So this is kind of a hotline that you can call and report a pirate. But the pirate that you are reporting should have 30 or more VCRs, so video cassette recorders, at one location used to produce an authorized copy. So this is a pirate, a person who does it massively, who produces bootleg copies for profit. And now a definition I got from website today, from RIAA website, the Music Association. So it is about downloading one song. So downloading one song suddenly became piracy. Also, people have been imposed fees on for like $150,000 for a single MP3. So it became ridiculous. And it became widely known that giant companies and congregations like RIAA or MPAA are doing that, and this is not a good PR. This is not good. They're not getting good press out of it. So let me show you how the piracy is actually not making you lose profit, because this is what they are saying. This is what they are saying. If you read that, the accumulative impact of millions of songs downloaded illegally, with or without compensation, is devastating to the industry economically. So let me show you how this is not true at all. This is the calculation. This is Johnny. You know Johnny. So Johnny has 3 apples. Let's do it massively, like RIAA said. Johnny has 3 million apples. And Billy wants an apple too. So he just takes one from Johnny illegally. So he steals it and goes away. So Johnny is left with 2 million apples. So the loss, the actual accountable loss, is 1 million apples, or 1 apple on this picture. But this is not how it is. When Johnny has 3 million apples, 3 million of apples, and Billy goes to a grocery store or goes to a tree and gets an apple for himself, an exact same apple that Johnny has, but he gets it from another source. Johnny is left with 3 apples still. This is how software piracy works, the software piracy as we see it now. People are copying. We don't even use our computing power to create the copy. And it is being criminalized by many, and by governments and by corporations. The thing that we make, imagine if making a copy of software that you acquired legally was illegal and a crime, it would be a crime to play a game, because when you play a game, a copy from the hard drive is loaded into your RAM. You have 2 copies on your computer. Imagine that this is being a crime. This is the direction that we are heading. This is the wrong direction that we are heading. Also, imagine that someone gets sued for cheating in a game, because there is a game that has a DLC that gives you money, and then he cheats and gets the money that is usually paid illegally, which is actually changing a variable in memory. And this is the wrong direction that we are going. And it is being widely heard about, widely spread in the news, which is really good. So there is actually no accountable loss. There is no loss that you can calculate from piracy. Lost profit never existed. People who download your game, your application illegally, you can say that they might have bought it, but they might or might not have bought it. This is an imaginary number, and imaginary money is imaginary loss. If you are not accounting in complex numbers with imaginary part, you should not be allowed to have that part as loss in your accounting. So calculating loss based on predictions is self-contradictory, because loss is something in the past and prediction is something in the future. So you can't put those two together and expect to have something consistent. This is why the ridiculous $150,000 came from, because it's just imaginary, so you can pull it out of your nose. And Okay, but imagine, you can of course oppose that and say that this is like piracy, a theft. So there are two stars, there are like two pieces of furniture in your house and a thief takes one out. So this is theft. You don't have the television or a cupboard that a thief took out of your house. But this is piracy. The piracy, I got the money for this game. I got $2 for my game, but for another game I didn't get $2, so I'm $2 less. So it steals income that I should have gotten for that game. But the thing is, okay, who does that? This is the countries with most piracy, with most pirates in them. Armenia, Bangladesh, Moldova, Azerbaijan, Zimbabwe, Sri Lanka, Yemen, Libya, Venezuela, Vietnam, Iraq, Cameroon, Indonesia, Pakistan, Algeria. The thing is, these are not potential customers, right? These are not people who would buy your $50 game if they didn't have an option to pirate it, because they don't have like $50, like 2 or 3 months of life for them. So they just pirate it. So you cannot do that calculation, and you cannot do that Johnny calculation that you have lost an apple, because that apple never existed in the first place and might have not existed at all, and people who pirate your game, most of them would never pay for it anyways. But there are ways of preventing that, because that's what people think, that people would actually buy games. That's what giant corporations think, that have money to put into DRM, so digital rights management. And digital rights management have been around for quite some time. So the first attempts, during the times where pirates were actually people selling bootleg CDs, the first attempts of putting a DRM, so deterring the pirates from selling the CDs, because they usually charged for a CD, because a CD was quite expensive at that time, and a CD burner was like 4 times speed, so it took a longer time, so they charged a lot for a single CD. So what they did is they inflated games. There was suddenly, games were on floppies, like this is 1994. Usual game fits on like up to 10 floppies. And then it's 1995, and games starts to be 4 CD games. They're inflated. They're inflated for a reason, that people do not copy it, because it was really, really expensive to create copies of CDs at that time. So this is the most early example of DRM, and then it evolved into kind of like things that you see in cracks, like software protection, CD keys, and things that can be cracked. And then it evolved into something that we have now, so an online DRM. DRM that connects to the internet and verifies if your copy is legal. And this the DRM never works. It never works well for the PR of your company, of your product. And it never works well for actually protecting it, because I can understand that some of you are not programmers, so let me get down to it in detail. This is a code. Imagine that this is the source code of a DRM, of software protection that can be cracked. And then what happens to it? This is something that only the programmer of your game sees. The end user does not get that, unless it's an open source game, but then you don't have DRM. And this gets compiled. This gets compiled into machine code, so a code that is executed by your processor is actually just a series of calculations, and it looks like that. And this is not encryption. This is not something that cannot be encrypted. Games used to be made like that, not like that in the past. So every single thing that happens on your computer, even if it's online DRM, that communicates with the server, you can see the communication code as it executes on your computer. There is no way to produce a DRM that is not crackable. There is no way, because it executes on your computer, so you can analyze it perfectly. And you can always crack it. And as you see, it worked. Like, there are new DRMs and better DRMs and bigger DRMs, but the games go into Pirate Bay, every one of them. Every single one of PC games gets uploaded to Pirate Bay, gets cracked, after time, sometimes I think the most I've seen was like 3 weeks, and then an AAA game gets uploaded anyways, because after time it gets cracked. It's just a puzzle for a cracker. A person who really enjoys that, because it's quite rewarding, does that. So it's not only that the DRM can fail like that, fails methodologically, it doesn't work, but it always also can fail if it's executed badly. Like, this is the probably earliest example of an online DRM that failed massively. This is Half-Life 2, the first game that required Steam to run. And it was a massive flop. You might not remember because we haven't been using Steam since recently. But it was a massive, people couldn't log into Steam. Half-Life 2 was an unexpected success. So the servers of Valve couldn't handle the traffic and people couldn't play the game that they bought. This was the first time that happened. This was a massive, massive flop, a really bad PR, and it was, you could think that people would learn from that, and corporations would not do that again. But then it happened again. It happened again. This is the quite recent example of Diablo 3, that the servers are busy, and you can't play a single-player game that you downloaded because it has the online DRM. Also, Ubisoft is trying to push this kind of DRM, and people are not. And the thing is that pirates, people who downloaded the games from there, the Ubisoft games, or Diablo. Can you see Diablo here? No, but it's probably somewhere there. The thing is, these guys are not affected by that. They don't see that. They don't see that, and they don't see that. You're not making their lives harder. You are making paying customers' lives harder, people who paid you. And, well, it might work, but it usually doesn't. And the harsher, the more draconian the DRM is, the bigger it can fail. So this is SimCity. This is, I think it's the biggest and probably most recent flop ever. People who paid for SimCity were told that it is cloud computed and it cannot possibly operate without being connected. And then it appeared that it's actually not true. And it is just a DRM that has been there in the game, preventing people who bought it to play. And then there is SimCity that you can download and just play. So DRM-free always wins. The thing is, DRM-free has become a selling point, especially for indies, because indies don't care and don't invest resources. This is an actually accountable loss. If you invest resources, aka time, aka money, aka people, into creating a DRM, you are losing money. And then how do you get your money back? Is this how you get your money back? Because this gets into every news outlet, and this, and this, and this. And this is a bad PR that you actually paid for. And DRM-free has become a selling point, a thing that people want in games and thing that people look for. So this is an article about Universal that does DRM-free music, and it's a good thing because it became a selling point. So the thing is, the thing that we want to do is convert piracy to profit. So DRM is not a way to do that, and being really draconian and really strict about pirates is not going to do that. So what is the way to do that? What is the correct way? First of all, do not object to piracy. It is there. As I displayed, there is nothing you can do for your game not to be pirate, unless you just don't finish it or don't publish it in the internet and it's only on your computer. Then it will probably not be pirate ever. And lure instead of force. You don't force pirates to buy your game because they might be from Zimbabwe or they might not have money, but you lure them. They might have, even if they are from Zimbabwe and earn $1 a month, they might have friends somewhere where there is money and friends that are willing to buy your game. So when you force them, they will not tell them friends about it. But if you lure them, they might tell, hey, you know, well, I will not buy the game, but maybe you should buy the game because the guy who made it is really cool and he told me that. And don't undermine the value of your work. So the thing is, this is from the other side. Like, you should be okay. You should not object to people pirating your game, but you should not undermine the value of your work. You should not, the thing that I wouldn't do is upload my game to a torrent site. I wouldn't do that. People do that, but I wouldn't, because this is showing people, hey, my game doesn't have value, but you should give me money for that anyways. No, my game has value, and if you want to copy it because you don't have money or you don't want to give me money, it's fine. But I will not give it out to the world for free, because this is not why I made it. I made it because I want food, and I want to keep making games. And to keep making games, I need food, aka I need money, aka give me all your money. And you treat pirates as customers. This is really good PR, because it might not have a good turnaround, but due to things like 4chan and Reddit, it might have, and the chances are really good about that. So treat pirates as, imagine that someone emails you about a bug in your game, and you know how to fix your bug, but you do know that the bug only appears in the previous version. And since you're using Steam, everyone should have the newest version. So he's probably a pirate. But maybe he's not, and he's been playing Steam in offline mode for like half a year. But the thing is, if he is a paying customer, it is really offensive if you try to make him prove that he actually bought the game. So what you do, also, it is an issue that you can just reply to with like 1 or 2 sentences how to fix it. So what you do is you reply. You fix the bug, you try to guide him, and you treat him as a paying customer. The thing is, the thing that might happen is the guy can put it on Reddit, and it can give you exposure. And then news outlets can pick it up, because they picked the news from Reddit recently. And also, it is really offensive. It's kind of like a DRM, right? If the guy is paying customer, it is offensive. If he's not, it doesn't even matter if you ask him or not. And don't be greedy. Don't try to get money. The thing is, if people play your game, if there are like 20 million pirates that play your game, you will get enough sales anyways. You will be able to live, survive, and, I don't know, give money to your workers and employees and stuff like that, and pay taxes. If people are playing your game, it's fine. So make games for people to play, not for people to buy. And don't pirate games. Well, we are making games, so do not. If you are making, well, I think if you're an indie and you're like poor and you haven't finished your first game yet, so you don't have any money at all, it's okay to pirate games and stuff, I guess, because you don't have money anyways. But when your game is out there and you are actually selling it, when you're actually selling your game and you don't buy other games, but you pirate them, this is a really, really nasty hypocrisy that you would not want to be associated with, so you just buy games. Oh, and YMCA. When there is something that you really don't like I've heard about people selling other people's games, like piracy for profit, something you really find not okay, or like the first result in a Google search for your game is a place when you can pirate game. So what you can do is YMCA, just dance and have fun. No, it's actually DMCA, but when you call it YMCA, no one cares. It's Digital Millennium Copyright Act. It's a notice that you can find a form on the internet or on most websites, and you just send the notice to the website. And the thing is that in this notice there is a clause that you have your best faith or belief that this is a valid copyright claim and that this is your game and you don't want trouble, you just want it down. And they can look at it, and the thing is they also can object to it, but they usually don't, and they usually take your game down immediately. So it's like guilty until proven innocent, but it's also a thing that the person that you give the YMCA to can object to that. So it's a good way to prevent if something really bad happens to your game. And the thing is, it covers converting piracy to, as I said, if people pirate your game, people buy your game. This is like 4chan pirated a game and let people download it for free. 4chan gets like 4 million viewers per hour. So this is the spike of sales. This is like Boing Boing article. Boing Boing is big, big. But 4chan is big, big, big. But they were pirating the game. But then people were fine. Hey, this is a cool game. Hey, and this guy doesn't even complain. So he's cool. Like, let's buy his game. Let's give him money. And he got money from the game, from piracy. This is, as I said, there is no accountable straight loss from piracy, but there can be accountable profit from piracy, and this is what we should be aiming for. Hotline Miami. Hotline Miami, the guy Cactus went to Pirate Bay and saw that they pirated an old early version that was super buggy and was like, hey guys, this version is super buggy and stuff is broken. Can you please upload the new version or something? Because this sucks and I don't want people to play my game when it's broken. And he got a lot of press from that, and this is really understandable, and this is a good approach because he really wants the players to enjoy the game. And he really, as he said, he really used to be broke. So and we all used to be broke mostly. So we do understand that people don't have money to play games. So yeah, why not let them pirate and enjoy your game? Why not let people enjoy your game when there is no loss associated with that? Why do you want to take that away from people? You made the game so that people enjoy it, unless you made the game to make profit straight. So this is bad, don't do that, right? So you can get a lot of good press out of being nice to pirates. You can get you can think that only indies take that, but this is our Witcher 2 CD Projekt, everyone knows them. And they gave a lot of free content to Witcher 2. They added without taking any money. And someone wanted to pirate the game and something went wrong. And there's this is an excerpt. This was meters and meters and screens log. Not helping you. Go buy the game times million. If you do that, if you can be nice and you can convert actual piracy to profit, if you're doing this right. And doing this right doesn't mean adding DRM and adding a lot of, and being an asshole about it. So also, apart from that picture and people from 4chan, there's also a lot of press. This is a press covering that one screenshot of that one website. And this is one page of that. And there is a lot you can gain from that. So the thing is, why I am saying all this, how is this based? I will now tell you the story that I mentioned in the beginning. Story about MacPixel being pirated and how it actually converted to real profits. So the thing is, I released MacPixel back in 2012. And once in a while, I went to the Pirate Bay, I searched for MacPixel, and I pressed enter, and there was no results. But the thing is that indie games don't get pirated because, not every game gets pirated. Because why? So the thing is, only good games get pirated. Games that people actually want to play. They don't want to buy it. They want to play it. So they put it on Pirate Bay, and then there are other people that download it and share it with other people, and then more people want to play it. So I was really looking forward to that. I wanted MacPixel to be on Pirate Bay because that is something good. That is people playing my game and people wanting to play. So I found this particular torrent. It was the first one. Uploaded 2 months after, 1.5 months after MacPixel was released. So when I found it, I was like, hey, nice, but wait, they should give me money. So I left a comment. Hey, yay, my game is here. I was genuinely excited about it. But I wanted them to know that I'm not EA and I'm not Ubisoft and I don't have stashes of money. So you should give me all your money if you like the game. And the thing is that I will not buy Ferraris for that. I will buy food and make more games. And if you don't have, because the only option to buy it was PayPal, and not everyone has credit cards, so I left some codes. And I wanted them to enjoy the game, and I was really happy about it. And I was like, okay, I did good. So someone screenshotted it. This is a screenshot I found on Reddit. And someone put it on Reddit. It was the first place on Reddit for 12 hours. All my websites were broken, and people couldn't even go on the MacPixel website and buy it. And it got a lot of exposure during that. And people couldn't even learn what MacPixel is. They couldn't. I had to jump in and reply to questions. Guys were like, hey, okay, but what is MacPixel? I can't even access the Pirate Bay because it's blocked in my country, and I jumped in and started answering questions. And what happened? People were like, hey, ask me anything, and we will ask you questions, and you can reply them, and it will be fun. So I did that. I am Sos who made MacPixel and gave out free codes at Pirate Bay, asked me anything, and gave the context of that. And I was there for 12 hours. Answering questions, my fingers were all sore. People had a lot of questions. I answered all of them, most of them, and it was nice. It was also on the Reddit front page. It was a good exposure. And one of the questions was, this is the best question I got. Hey, Sosowski, check your email. We got a proposition to Pirate Bay. I was like, OK, I checked my email. Nothing there. OK, whatever. And I went ahead to answer more questions. But then the next day, I went back to my mailbox, and I checked the spam folder, and there was an email from the Pirate Bay saying, hey, I like your approach. Like, you're cool with that, and we can do like a promo bay. You know, we do the promo bay, and it's like the promotion. Instead of the giant pirate ship on the front page, we have like a promo of someone. We usually do music or indie movies, but we never did games, but what the hell, let's do that. I was like, Pirate Bay is like the 3rd most visited website in the world. Like, yeah, OK, I'm doing that. But then I suddenly realized that all my websites failed because of Reddit. And so I was like, no, I need to get a server first, like a proper server. So I was like, hey, OK, let's do that, but like, give me a week. And I got a server, a proper VPS, and I moved all my website there. And I was like, OK, I'm ready. Let's see if that works. And they did that. So this was the deal. The deal was this is the front page of Pirate Bay for Friday, Sunday, and Saturday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then, in return, you let people torrent your game, download MacPixel torrent from your website, and you let them give you any amount of money they want. And they will probably give you money. And what happened? They gave me money. So in total, I made $7,000 during the 3 days weekend. This is an accountable profit from being nice to pirates. There might be a really large luck factor associated with that, but still, it's an accountable profit. And the thing is, it's not mostly about profit, but 2 days after MacPixel was on the front page of Pirate Bay, the green light that MacPixel was on, the first 10 greenlit games were announced, and MacPixel was in, because on the website, right after that, there was like, above that, there was a green light button, and below that, there was a buy button. So I was mostly focused on getting in that green light, which actually worked. And I got on green light, and I got a lot of money, and I got a lot of exposure, because obviously a lot of news outlets, big ones, even like Ars Technica, covered the story. So it was an accountable profit from piracy. The thing that I want to finish with is a Commodore 64 game I made recently that got pirated by like a crack group. It didn't have a DRM, but the crack groups out there, like, you know, the Commodore 64 scroller intros and stuff like that. And I was really happy about that. So what happens is, like, when you're making a Commodore 64 games and you are near finishing, they email you, the cracking groups, like imagine Reloaded or Razer emailing you and saying, hey, you're making this game, so can you send it to us before you release it so we can be the first to crack it? And so this is how piracy works in Commodore. Like, you just send the game out to crackers. But this game I didn't send to crackers because I made it in 2 days. And I was like, what the hell? I put it on the internet, and then they want to be the first. So every single cracking group want to be the first to crack it and add their own intro. And this is a group that did that. It's called Dinosaurs. And let me just show it to you. Can I get sound? This is how it looks. They usually add also cheat codes and stuff like that. This is beautiful. Piracy made that happen. Oh, they're also adding cheat codes to your game, so I cannot die in this version of Flappy Bird for Commodore 64. So it's yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Do we have time for questions?
No, I think not.
Okay, so...
But remember, don't fight with piracy and you will never die.
The thing is, maybe I can make this bigger. Edit. Properties. Can I make the font bigger? Yes. Okay. I forgot my business cards, so if you could please make a photo of that if you want to contact me. That would be really appreciated. Can you see that? Is it not too small? Is it too small?
If anybody has a good picture, please post it on Twitter, okay? With hashtag Digital Dragons and hashtag sauce.
And if you have questions, since I need to flee the stage really quickly, please find me outside and I can answer all of your questions. Thank you very much.